All right. Hello, everybody. We are live. Actually, let me go to, there we go. Now you can see. So we are live. I hope everybody has had a good weekend so far. And today we're going to be working on part two of the Lucky Chicken Valentines painting. It's a mixed media painting is what we were working on. So last week I went with watercolor and then for the background, and then we also worked in some ink. So see here, yeah, we did ink and then watercolor for the background, and then we went to our acrylic painting for the cards. So we're just doing part two on this one. Maybe we might get this one done. Not for sure. We're going to try something new on this too. So we're still working with mixed media. And you probably are thinking, well, it's probably just going to be all our acrylics. Well, I'm thinking about doing something besides just our acrylics with this. So definitely fun. As far as everything else, I usually like to give updates on things that are going to be happening this week. Like to give my Patreons a little bit of an update on if there's anything new coming up. So for Patreons, of course, I release the theme of the month. Now that is for anybody. So as long as you're a member, it's free to be a member. So there is a member setting where it's like free. You don't have to pay for anything, but basically what I do on the free member is you get like a theme of the month. So it gives you a couple little ideas that you could do for your artwork, or maybe make up some art pieces, and then you can share that over on the Facebook, my Facebook group. So the link is in there. So that's what you get. Plus, if there's something that maybe kind of like the turkey painting that I did and I wasn't quite finished with it, so we just hurried up and did a speed painting of that showing it, well, then I'll show a little bit slower. It's still sped up, but maybe a little bit slower on what I did to finish it. So sometimes that's tossed in there for a free member. Also, being a free member, you get one video, I think out of each category. So like color pencil, oil pastel, any of that, you get one video out of there to kind of see on how I do my videos and work with that type of medium. And if you're interested in just like viewing all the videos, I did lower that to $1.99. So that is the base price for a Patreon member, and that releases all the videos that I have. If you go upgrade to the next tier, then you get not only all the videos, but you get like a postcard. You also get, well, it's not just a postcard. I've been changing it up. This time I actually sent out artist trading cards. So I actually did an artist trading card and then sent out two blank trading cards, so that way you can trade or do artwork and trade with somebody else if you wanted to. So I just do different things each month. Plus that, you get coloring pages on that tier, and you get reference photos. So I mean, different things I kind of throw in there for you. So some little goodies. Anyways, so on Patreon, you got the theme of the month for free members, and then also you're going to get, by at least by Thursday, I try and release it on Thursday, but you should get the little Yorkie in charcoal. So it'll be another charcoal piece for you guys for this week. And then next week, you guys are going to get the oil pastel of the rose. So that'll be the next week. So really fun things happening for you guys on YouTube. B&W Color, hello. Hey, how are you? Welcome. So for YouTube, I have got the Patreon box in, so that's super exciting. So we'll be working with, oh, not the Patreon box, my goodness, I got Patreon on the brain. The Powerful Packs box has come in, so we'll be doing a first review of the Powerful Pack box. And then on another video, I'll be working with only the products in that box to do the speed painting and final review of the Powerful Pack box. So a lot of things are coming for you guys. I also can throw in another video that I have. So it's like kind of what I'm going to be doing tonight, which is kind of a surprise, but I'll show you guys. So let's go ahead and turn this around because I definitely want to try and get try and get as much as I can done on this painting. So let's go ahead. Let me find the mouse. I did change everything around, so it's a little bit different in here. Let's change. Let's see here. There we go. You're like, oh my gosh, the whole screen went black. Went dark. It's like the lights got turned out. So I think you guys can see this well. And you know what's really funny? If you guys see this little like dark spot, like it's like right in here, right there. That is actually not even on my camera. See, I mean, it's in my camera lens. For some reason, it's got a dark spot in my camera lens. And I tried cleaning it and I don't see anything in it. So something happened within the camera. Oh, you really enjoy my teaching? Well, thank you. I hope you learn like quite a bit from me. I hope. Be like, leave with inspiration and maybe thinking outside the box too. That's a good thing to learn too. Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. That makes me so excited. Oh my goodness. I like hearing that because I definitely want to help, and I'm hoping every time I teach, I'm like hoping that maybe I'm teaching good or that people are like learning, and I don't get too many comments on like, hey, you know, you're not doing a good job, or maybe you need to do this. You know, I don't really get any of that, and I don't really get too much positivity. Like, it's like, tell me something. You like the pumpkin lesson. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that was the pumpkins, because I did a couple pumpkins. Was it the oil pastel pumpkins that you're talking about? Or, oh, and the airbrush. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a lot of fun. And see, I've been holding off on my airbrush because I ran out of the frisket. So I'm really hoping to get some of that frisket in. I have it ordered, so I really need that for airbrushing. And we'll go back to doing backgrounds with the airbrush again. It's so easy that way. I absolutely love it. That airbrush is worth it. So as you can see, I've got something new here. And this here is the modeling paste, and I use this, as you can see, kind of used it. I did, oh, the pumpkin with the smoke. Yes, the Halloween one. Yeah, I do like that one. Actually, it's still up on my wall back behind me. So I love that painting, and I keep on thinking, okay, I'm going to leave it just in case there's something that catches my eye that I might want to change, and I can go in there and kind of correct it. But so far, it's been hanging on my wall since Halloween, and I absolutely love it still. So who knows if I can find something to nitpick on it. I don't know. But that was a really fun one to do. And it made it so easy doing the smoke on it. So yeah, we're going to put some modeling paste on here, and then we're going to paint over it. Now, the modeling paste is Liquitex Basic Acrylic. It says modeling paste. It is kind of like, it dries hard, and it really dries kind of quick. And what I was thinking about using this for is doing the feathers on the actual chicken here, because it's like a crazy chicken. It really is. And so I was going to make the 3D kind of feathers kind of stick out, and then we'll paint over them. So this is going to be really kind of fun, and it gives a little bit more character to this painting. So I definitely want to go ahead and get these dice done. Now, I do have this System 3 acrylics, and I was like almost thinking about kind of staying away from them. I mean, I don't really care too much for them. They feel really, I mean, they're nice and opaque and everything. It just feels really glossy kind of feel to them. Like, it doesn't really look glossy. It kind of has a nice matte kind of look to it, but it just feels that way when I'm painting with it. So it feels a little funny to me, but it's okay. I can work with them. So I'm not for sure how they would intermix with using these and the Liquitex Basics that I normally use. I'm not for sure. Might feel a little weird, so maybe I'm just going to stick with the same thing. Great. Hey, how are you? Welcome. I hope you've been having fun. How's your new job going so far? Are you liking it still? The traveling? How awesome. You've got a fun job. Just to let you know. Sounds like a really fun job. Traveling and seeing everything. I like that. So we're doing some red. It only gave me 2 types of red in this pack. This is from Powerful Packs. So they gave me the cadmium, a red hue, and then the other one is the crimson, I do believe. That's what they gave me. Yeah, crimson. So we're just going to use those 2 reds. We're going to make up some pinks. Now I know that they have dark pinks in this, or at least some darker shades of pink. Got to take the lid off. You guys can see me, yeah. And I always used to like to throw in some of my, I'm going to take some of this black. What is this? Be very careful. This is Mars black. I used to like to always throw in Payne's gray when mixing in to make my colors darker, but there's not a Payne's gray in here. I mean, I could do blue, ultimate. That's a little bit too bright. It would be purple. We'll just see how this goes. So we're going to be painting on these dice, and I know the camera likes to focus and not focus, so hopefully it doesn't go too crazy on us. I'm going to just take out a nice little round brush, and we're going to start mixing up our colors. Now, I know that it's on the thumbnail of what I'm using, but I got this reference photo from Pixabay. So these are the dice that I'll be working with here. And of course, I'm going to try and mix up as close as I can to a nice pink. Let me make sure. Okay. So we're going to pull some of this red. We're going to pull some, probably should have pulled not as much as the red. More white than red. And this dries so quickly, like quicker than my Liquitex Basics. And that's a nice pink. So then I want to take just a dot of red, not very much, more white. I'd really like to make a really light pink. Okay. So now we got a mid pink, we got a lighter pink. White is our brightest highlight. And then we want to make a darker pink. So I want to take a little bit of this red, more white. So we're going to make more of a, kind of like a, it's still a pink. Probably need more white. It's kind of like our darker pink over here, or our mid pink. And I want to take a dot. Hopefully I didn't put in too much dot of this black. There we go. And now I made it more of a shadow. And I mean, seriously, it was just a dot. But that just made it more of a shadowy type of pink. Let's see if I can just show you guys without getting it in there. Look at his little legs, camera little legs. Okay, so I made I feel really weird. There, guys, see? Okay. It's because my hand's in the way. I'm like, the camera and it is really messing with me. But okay, so I made this lighter pink here, or this mid pink. And then this one here is a little bit lighter of a pink. And then we got more of a shadow. So just by adding that touch, I would leave this there, but I'll probably squirt it with my stay camera. Might squirt it with my fine mister. Guy, oh no. Had a crew on board. Oh my goodness. No major injuries. Wow. That is, I'm glad there's no major injuries, but my goodness. That's scary. I'm glad you guys are all okay. All right, so I'm going to take some of this. I might give it a little bit of a spritz on my canvas. That way my paintbrush runs nice and smooth. All the way around. I think that's sometimes may hear my daughter or my son going up and down stairs. I do have my camera to where if the puppy does come in and lay down on his little blanket in here, then I can show you guys. I got like a little camera facing him. It's like I had to have a puppy cam. Now I wouldn't worry too much about using your mid-tone because you can always go darker, you could always go lighter with it. This is just trying to get a main color down. You just want to color it, like get as much of the dice covered. You'll end up layering it and going back over it, and that's where you can add in your darks or your lights. I don't know, it sounds like little pieces there. It's like it was almost drying, and here I sprayed it. Wow. Oh. Okay, and then I'm gonna let's get this bottom. It's like, is today my day for straight lines? Who knows? But I am painting flat this time instead of painting at my easel. Wish I would have been painting flat whenever I was like painting the other, but then I got these really cool drip effects, so that really did work out in my favor on that. This top part looks a little bit darker. God, it looks like it didn't even mix very good. This paint. Okay, System 3, I don't know if I'd recommend. You know, I already did my final review on it, and I did do it, but for some reason, I don't know. I think I gave a review that it was like nah. I think I gave it a nah. Like, it wasn't the greatest. I mean, you could still work with it, but I probably would be giving it a thumbs down now that I'm working with it even more. Try to be nice, though. Try to be nice, but yet be honest. It's like, nah. It's, you know. If I tell you guys it's okay, then that isn't great. It's like, that's not great. This paint, like, this paint, when you're mixing it, let's just say I mixed that red and the white together to make the colors that I got here. And everything was mixed in. It looked great. You know, it looked good. But when I squirted it with water, you know, to keep it nice and wet, I am not joking. But do you see that red right now? Like, see the red in the sides there? And then look over here. See the red kind of coming out right in here? All that red where I mixed it. And then in here. That was completely mixed up. I mixed it with my brush completely up. And the moment I squirted it with water, it's like the red came back out of it. That is really weird. Like, red started coming up instead of the pink. Just because I squirted it with water. Now I can mix it all up again. That is really strange reaction to water for an acrylic paint. Like, I don't like that. And look at me go. I just keep on using it. I don't know. It's okay. Just really weird. That's all I can say. It's really weird. Now these angles here look a little bit cut off, so I'm going to try and round it here just a little bit. Okay. I think that'll be fine. I'm going to go around and try and get all these dice in here, since I do know these paints like to dry really quick. That way I get all the base layer and try to mix them instead of trying to mix them up again. So the water separated the pigment. Yes. Yes. It did. That's what's really weird. Like, it's like when you sprayed it with water, the red came back out of the edges of the paint, which is really weird because it was nowhere near that. I had it completely mixed up. Here, let me mix all this up. Okay. Let's see here. See if I can go show you. Okay, that's completely mixed up here. See this dark? There is no more red. I'm going to squirt it with water. And this didn't splatter. My red didn't splatter. Let's see what happens. If it starts pulling out the red again, that's weird. Unless I just didn't have some of the red coming out of it, but that was just weird. This is starting to pull more red out here and there. Okay, let it sit. Looks like in here it might be, but we'll just wait just a second and just see what happens. That is really weird though, yes. I know I'm not seeing things. Okay, this chicken had 3 toes, right? Oh, should have 3. Well, it should have actually 3 and then a 4th one back behind it, maybe. This is the darker pink. If you end up doing a painting and you accidentally cover up a toe, because it can happen and you're like, oh no, it's supposed to have another toe, and I totally, you know, painted over it. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it. The red's coming back out of it. See? And then that one there, it's starting to have the red come back out of it. Yeah, that's red. It just came back out with water. The water separated the pigment. The red came back out even after mixing it. Let's see here. Yeah. Let me make sure. Do I need to scroll down to see? Let me make sure. Okay. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. I've never seen that before, where the red comes back out of it. That's weird. Yeah. Oh. I was like, at first I thought it was just like, what? Did I not mix it well? Or what's going on here? And then I had to do it again. First time you ever seen that? How old is the paint? Like with the old masking tape. Actually this here was given to me from the Powerful Pack box, and it was not, was it last? I got a hair. I don't want to eat my hair. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what I did. Oh, whiskey's back in here. It wasn't last, was it last live stream? What did I do last live stream? Or not live stream, last Powerful Pack box. I really think it was the last Powerful Pack box to be, no, it was for Christmas. It was December. Or was it? Yeah, it was December. December's Powerful Pack box. So, I mean, it's not that old. I mean, I've had my Liquitex Basics. Some of those tubes I've had in there for like for 3 years. And I've never had any of that issue. Whiskey, what are you doing, Bubby? He's pushing the door shut with his nose. Pushing the door shut. Hmm. Yeah. Um, I really think it's just because, and I hate saying this because, I mean, it does happen, but this is System 3 paints. And, and I was like thinking, oh, this is so great. But then whenever I did they're by this company, Dollar and Ronnie, pretty much they sell these kind of things at Walmart too. Dollar and Ronnie brand. I just think it's more of a uh, just more of a not a professional artist brand, but maybe more of a brand for, I would say, a beginner. I don't like to say it's like a cheap brand because, you know, I seem that, it just depends. I mean, cheap brand meaning quality cheap, not as far as price cheap. Um, but quality wise, cheap brand type of paint. Like, why did I choose them? Because I remembered working with them in December and I had so much fun with the painting that I was doing, mixed media. And that's the reason why I thought, instead of using my Liquitex basics, I'm just going to use these and put them to use. And that way I can kind of, get rid of some of these art supplies by using them. And I don't know. I mean, the pigment in this is still a nice pigment. It just never had it separate before. And it just feels they just feel different. Let me go ahead and bring this on down. Yeah, pigment's all separated. So weird. Whiskey, do you want to go outside, baby? Like, he is like by the door. He ain't even within camera. You want to go? No. Well, then don't shut the door. He just shut the door on me. Okay, sweetheart, do you want to go? Well, you gotta back up. No, back up. There. Do you want to go? All right. My goodness. Student grade, right? Yeah. Yep. Sometimes you would think if you're, this is only my opinion only, but if you're gonna be working with student grade paints to try and learn how to paint, it might end up being too challenging. I mean, you might have issues that are actually the product issues and not necessarily your issues, not something that you're doing wrong. It could be just because of the quality of paints that you're using, and it could be the products. I don't really like that, they give something that would have issues to people who are wanting to learn because that's going to make it more difficult. Now, would I give this to my 12-year-old daughter? Absolutely. She can have fun with it and she's playing with it, having fun. She's not really interested in getting really better with art, but she's just playing around with it just to have fun and make something pretty. I can get that. But if you're an actual like beginner, it's like, and you're wanting to learn because you're wanting to do good artwork and become more of a professional artist, and you really need to be working with probably better products because it may not be you, and that'll end up making you feel bad about yourself when it's not you. It's the products. Is new to you too. Yeah, definitely. And see, this one's already starting to dry out. This is my lighter color. I'm about ready to switch over to my Liquitex here. Buttery say, that is it. Liquitex, please come and help. I'm gonna put my highlights in here. And these aren't my brightest highlights neither. This is just gonna be some highlights. Okay. I don't even know if I'd want, I don't know how that would work. If this bounces and rejects the color so much, what does that mean if you were to take like your actual, like my Liquitex basics that I like to use and put those on top of it? Hopefully it doesn't have no issues. I mean, it's absorbing into the paper, or not the paper, but the canvas. Maybe they'll, I mean, it's still kind of a matte, so maybe it'll be okay. I don't know, it's just weird. Lucky I'm using a mixed media canvas board. We'll just suck it right into it. Oh, that's my dark. I need more of my mid-tone, or my mid-tone color here. Gotta remix it up. Oh, it's like too wet. Ah. It's okay. I like challenging things. It's like, that's just what I wanted to do. Challenge of the day. I'm gonna have to repaint in all these little circles too. So I'm probably gonna have to remix up some of this lighter or this mid-tone pink. Let's just go ahead and get a little dot of the red. That again? Yeah. Oh, and did you guys get, I don't know if you guys like to order from Blix, but did you see that they're doing a giveaway on Blix for a art studio like giveaway? If you guys haven't seen that, you guys need to check it out. It's on Blix. I think it's on their website, and all you got to do to enter to win, I think, is just like pick out which, like if you want to win an acrylic themed, like an acrylic studio like setup, or a watercolor or oil painting setup, yeah, you can just click on it and then just fill out like your information, and then the drawing gets picked. I went ahead and did that. I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, that would be nice. Heck yeah, if you haven't done it, yeah, go do it. Let's see here. Yeah, and it's free. You don't have to do anything to enter. How old is the new puppy? I'm having success on. Oh, yes, I'm having a very good success with potty training. At first he like had issues like, and it's basically because of me and my timing on taking him out. But he only went like, sometimes he would just go like, I always say TT, go number one, and I'm like, uh-oh, and I try not to like do anything or get mad at him, scold him, but he understood that with getting treats and everything, he's supposed to go outside, and he's done really well. Like, I haven't really had any accidents for like, I think it's been almost 3 weeks since the last accident, like him going. So he's been really, really good. And he is now, well, he's 5 months old. So, and tomorrow he's getting his, um, getting some more of his shots, puppy shots. So tomorrow is doctor's appointment for him, puppy appointment. So I was like, okay, you got to get ready for your puppy appointment and go into the vet. So tomorrow he gets a bath so he can be nice and fluffy on his way to his little, oh, I call it a little doctor appointment. Little doctor appointment. So going for that. Yeah, definitely. You need to go check that out. And the studio, it comes with, I think there's different things. Like they say about $1,200 worth of product. So it's like a lot of product. And whenever I filled out for like, just my address and all that kind of stuff, email. And when I did that, I saw that the acrylic group set, because I picked the acrylic, of course, and it was like $1,400 or something like that worth of product. I was like, holy cow. And I was like, how much is the oil painting one? And it was like, I think it was, I forgot which one was the most expensive. I don't know if it was the oil painting that was more expensive or the watercolor. But I mean, the watercolor was really nice too because it came with like Daniel Smith paints, and I think the acrylic paint that they were given with it was the Ertrich or Ertrich. I always have trouble pronouncing things. So those are really good brands, like really, really good brands. Paint. Now the canvases, of course, they threw in Blix canvases, grade canvases, but I think they're more of the Blix's professional canvases or something. I've never tried them. Does he like his doctor? Oh yeah, he definitely loves his doctor. He likes her because she's got Cheese Whiz, and I don't give him Cheese Whiz, so that way he's super excited when he goes to the vet because he'll get Cheese Whiz, and then he gets his shot and doesn't even know he got the shot. He's just after the Cheese Whiz. He would care less about the shot. He doesn't whimper, doesn't do anything, not even a twitch. He just after the Cheese Whiz. Oh, I know. No, they didn't have gouache. They had watercolor. I don't know if the watercolor had gouache in it or not. I didn't really read all through that one. I read a little bit of the oil painting one, and then I kind of got like was thinking, okay, there's a lot. But the easel, oh my God, they got a super nice easel. Like it's like big, big. And it's one of the H frames, so super, super nice easel. And it even comes with two cups on either end, so that way you can put like, if you're working with color pencils, you can put your color pencils in there, but of course, put your water or your brushes. But you know me, I'd probably put my color pencils in there too. So really, really nice. Nice, nice easel. I like that. So I was like, heck, I never win anything anyway. So I just figured I might as well, I'll go ahead and do it. But you know good and well I'm not going to win. I never win. Only one time I've ever won anything, or I don't even think I won. And it was like a raffle ticket, and it happened to be for, who was it for? I think it was one of my friends' weddings or something. Or no, it wasn't. It was like something. And they were doing a raffle. And I had a ticket. And of course, they have drinks and everything else, Obviously, at that, I don't know how old I was at that time, too. I could have been like 24 4 years old. And here I am having me my drinks and with my family and everything. And then next thing you know, they call it a raffle number. And I think for the life of me that I won. And that's my, that I have a ticket for it. And it was for a set of dishes. And I'm like, I won, yay. And I go up there super excited. And I seen this one guy like start walking up there. And then he saw just how excited I was. He just turned around and walked back over and just kind of had a smile on his face. And I'm like, yay. And then here's my ticket. And I gave him my ticket and I was holding it like I was super excited to win these dishes that I really didn't honestly need. And yeah, when I come to find out, I really think I did not win that. That was totally my fault. And I'm guessing that person was the guy was probably thinking I really didn't need dishes anyway. It's like I felt so bad. Yeah. Yeah, watch what I'm doing. So, yeah, I don't really win anything. And I need to watch myself because, yeah, I felt really bad. I'll never forget that. Like, I'll always think of that for a long time. How I took dishes that I don't even think I won. All right, I got this kind of narrowed down. I really need to shift that circle. I don't like it there. So I'll just paint over it. All right. I'm really thinking about using some separate paints though. We won't do the chicken using these paints. Yeah, just paint with black, Deborah. Good job. That was the guy. Yeah, he could have said, no, those are my dishes. I wonder what would happen. I'd be like, no, they're mine. I mean, my brother would probably have to go up there and be like, okay, I need to get my sister off the stage. She's embarrassing me again. Okay, so we need some of the really light pink, like a highlight type of white pink. I'm going to try not to add any water to this just because of its habits that it's got for trying to change on me. Here, we're going to make that super light. Just trying to get some of these corners here with a highlight. We got a little bit of a highlight going on in there too, but it's not as light. These colors really, I'm complaining. Do not like these colors. They are just not wanting to mix very well. Could just stop whining about it and just go ahead and switch them. But the reason why I don't want to switch them over is because I don't want to paint with these and then try and put my Liquitex Basics on top of them just in case there's some sort of weird reaction. So I want to try and keep them kind of the same, like the same paint. And then whenever I go on to something different, then I'll change up the paints. But once I did this, I don't really want to. I'm just going to paint those circles in again. Just try to add another layer of paint to this. That way there is no areas that are a little bit translucent. Just trying to thicken them up a little bit. If you need to lighten something up, like maybe it's a little bit too dark in areas, you can always go over the top of it and make it a little bit lighter. Like this area here, when it dried, maybe it just was a little bit too dark that I want. Then you can just kind of go over it just a little bit. Kind of lighten it out a little bit. You can still see the dark coming through, like the darker shade, but it's maybe not as dark. This area here just needs to be doubled. I hear Whiskey chewing on something. I'm hoping he's chewing on his little bone or his little treat. Not a real bone. It's a chew. Okay. But you're definitely gonna win if you don't participate. That's true. You're never gonna win if you don't try. That is absolutely true. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe I can try. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of this shadow in. I'm going to take some of this black and take a little bit of white. We're going to mix it up and make it dark, like a darker kind of gray or a mid-tone gray. Yeah, I'm going to go over that hard just a little bit too. That'll work. That's one layer of the gray. We'll still have to do like a really black, solid black line right underneath. And then we'll also have to do maybe a lighter grade on the outside of that gray there. So that's just the first gray for a shadow. Let's try and put in a bit of a shadow here. I really like to work with threes. And I know it's like, bad luck number, but it just is. I like to get that mid-tone kind of color in there and then change it up and then go to a lighter color and then go to a darker color. Like you have three colors. You got dark, the darkest of dark, then you got your mid-tone, and then you got your lighter of that same color. So there's that shadow. Need one more on this one. I didn't put any of my white highlights in on the dice yet. I'm just kind of waiting for it to dry out. Keep on misting it. I don't know, it will still probably dry out. These paints dry extremely fast. And if you're hearing noises in the background, my son's watching some sort of show. He's babysitting Puppy Dog to make sure if he needed to go to the bathroom, he can take him. So he's being super nice. My daughter, on the other hand, she was going to help out, but she has been going through some teenage mood swings from out of this earth. Oh my goodness. Like, you know how kids have the terrible twos? Well, I think she's got the terrible teens. There is a thing. And to be honest with you, I'd rather take a terrible two than a terrible teen right now. She's got a boyfriend and this and that, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm on the phone. I'm like thinking, okay, you're about ready to lose your phone. You don't know. Well, mine are in their 30s now, and girls are more challenging, I heard. Yes, my son, he's really laid back, so easy. I mean, there really it hasn't been anything. I mean, he hasn't been like with a girlfriend or bringing a girl home or any of these kind of things. He's been basically he likes to play his video games. But he's been just so cool. Like he's just calm. He's more, and my son's awesome. And then my daughter, she's really smart. She's really cute. And I think in just the stage that she's in, she's like starting to get into makeup and, you know, I don't know. I think she turned into a mean girl. They are acrylic, but I like watercolor too. Yeah. Bless you, Whiskey. You sneezing on the other side of the door? Why'd you come inside? Oh, you just opened the door. Hi, baby. You gonna lay down? Lay down. Maybe I'll put the camera on you. You lay down. If you're not gonna lay down, I'm not putting the camera on you. Stop. Sit. Stop it. Oh, my dog is harassing me. Go lay down. It's like, but mommy, I don't want to lay down. I just want to grab a hold of your sweatshirt and pull on it. Ew, this may be a little bit too light. That's too light of a gray. Let's put just a little touch more of the black in there. There we go. It's like really, this paint is so hard to work with. Just let you know. My nephews are nerd. Nothing wrong with that. I'm a nerd too. Yep, there we go. My son he's a gamer. He was in the military, so he was Marines. Dude, I'm proud of it. Yep. And he's very, very good with history. So he's a very good history buff. Um, he's just, yep, he is definitely Ethan. My son is definitely him. They're very unique, which is good. It's like us moms, we just love our sons. They're great. And I know my daughter, she'll come around. She's just going through those terrible two things where she's rolling the eyes and And then my son, he tells me, he goes, probably acts like you whenever you were younger. I'm like, probably, who knows? I don't know. Then again, I didn't have a phone. Probably would have got my butt whooped by my dad. I don't know. She just spoiled. And going through the terrible teen stage. Maybe it's 21. Makeup and Julie. Oh no, like no. Uh, yep. Okay, so your daughter takes your jewelry. My daughter, not only, I told her, she used this against me, but I used to always say, everything that is mine is yours, yours is mine, And, I told her, I was like, wherever I go, all my stuff is gonna be yours. So, what does she do? Take all my makeup, all this stuff, and I go, what? You're not supposed to be taking this. Well, you told me whatever is mine is yours. I'm like, really? Well, I gotta have something that's mine. And then she's going in there and she's finding all my sweatpants. And so she's taking all my sweatpants. And that's after I took her shopping and she got like a whole bunch of clothes for like school and everything. She still goes through my drawers, takes out my sweatpants, uses them. She's like, well, Mom, you haven't lost weight, so you can't fit into these yet, so I can fit into them now, so I'm taking them. I'm like, thanks. That was my motivation tool right there. Like thinking, I might go on a diet, lose weight, and fit back into my sweatpants. My other ones, I had these really cute ones. And all these other clothes that I used to get. And then now she's going through and taking them all. So yeah, she loves going through my clothes. And then she goes, well, you got so much better clothes than I do. I'm like, you got so many new ones that I bought you. But every time I try and take her shopping, she's just like, I don't know what I want. I'm like, you can pick out whatever you want, And then she doesn't want to try them on. She doesn't want to go shopping. I'm like, seriously? And then whenever I pick her something out, and I said, why don't you wear this? I don't like that. But yet, all my clothes are great. I'm like, that's something I would love to wear. So, I don't know. Say anything. Do I know? Hold on. I need to make this screen just a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I might be talented. Best to have boundaries. If you want to stay clothed, yes. Whiskey. Oh, you shut the door, baby. You're gonna have to. Never mind. Don't back up. Don't back up. I know. I want to stay clothed. I'm running out of options, but yep. Right now, I told her, I said, man, I was like, those shoes are so cute. I love those tennis shoes you got. And she looks at me and she goes, they're yours. I was like, huh. And I looked at them and I'm like thinking, well, I didn't know I had those. Like, but take them off. I want them now. She's got two brand new pairs of tennis shoes and she still hasn't worn them. And I think she wore them maybe once, one of them. And I'm like thinking, why does she pick out my shoes? Then she tries to pick out my perfumes, which finally got her off of one because I took it out as a body spray. And the reason why I have so much stuff is because whenever I worked with, I used to drive a truck and work and travel, and I just stocked up on everything, anything that I could stock up on, whether or not it's body sprays or anything, I stocked up art supplies, everything I needed just in case, you know, made sure I was all stocked up. And I did body sprays, shampoos, hairs, all kinds of stuff. Well, not shampoos, those went bad. Um, well, anyways, I took out a body spray and I used it for the first time, and she's like, "Oh, that smells good." Well, next thing you know, she's like going in there and taking it, and I said, "What perfume are you wearing?" And she's like, "This one," and she pulls out the one I just took out that was new, and I told her, I said, "No, I was like, "You're not using that one." She goes, "But why? You said everything is." I said, "Yeah, but that's for older people like me." I said, "You need to wear something that's a little bit more young and kind of smells the same." So I went in there and had to dig out the one that I had that was similar to that smell, but it was a little bit more like more teen kind of smell. I'm like, I'm trying to tell her she smells like an old lady. So she give my stuff back. This is nicer than our own, yes. Definitely. So yeah, I've been playing it off as though if you use my stuff, you're gonna be like a granny. So leave my stuff alone. Takes my shoes, I'll be like, okay, now you're wearing old granny shoes, give them back. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up real quick. I'm gonna get a little bit. What are we at? Okay, we definitely got to get started on the other. Otherwise, we're gonna be painting a chicken probably on next live stream. I definitely want to get the feathers in, so you guys are gonna definitely see that. We'll work with the feathers. It needs to be a tad bit darker, doesn't it? Trying to get a darker gray for in the center. No, all we're doing is just kind of creating a shadow. I'm not really worried about it being really perfect or anything like that. We're just taking it easy. We're not going to go into too much trouble here. I just can't wait to not work with these paints anymore. You add water to it just a little bit and it gets too watery. If you don't, I mean, it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's just weird feeling. And it's making my brush like really dry. Take pure white. We're just going to go underneath. Oh, there was like a whole bunch of water on that. I did not know it. Ah. And I just like, yep. I just put that in my paint cup. It'll be all right. Or a paintbrush cup. So just painting a bright white underneath there just to kind of give it a little bit more of that look. These are just going to have to go more white. I really needed it to be more of a circle form, but this paint has been clumping up on me or drying out, and it's not been fun. So I'm just going to paint as close as I can to it, little dots. What we're doing. Probably shouldn't even really see the tops of these, but I really don't like working with this. Has definitely been not so fun to paint. All right. Okay. We're just going to leave those the way it is. If we need to do anything different, we'll come back through, but this paint really does kind of, I don't know, it just kind of creeps and crawls. Like, it's got that feeling. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the paint. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. It's a bad rap. No, it's really nice clothes. It's just making her think that way. What the Jedi tricks are y'all doing to each other? Well, I can tell you one thing. What was it? It wasn't the granny thing. There was another thing that I told her too. Oh my goodness. Oh, I told her, I said, she was talking about her teacher. And she said, yeah, my teacher is such and such. She likes to listen to this music too. And I said, oh, she must be around the same age as I am, the generation, like that type of music. And she goes, well, I said, how old is she? And she goes, well, I think she's only like 20 some odd years old, maybe 24, 25, maybe. I'm like thinking, really? I said, so I said, I guess I'm getting to a point where I'm older than all our teachers. And I'm saying, my goodness, am I just older than all your teachers? She goes, oh no, Mom, you're not older than all my teachers. And I said, well, I must be older than everybody. I said, it's starting to get pretty bad here. And she goes, well, you're not older than grandma. She's like 80 some odd years old. You're not older than her. And I was like, you have to compare me to grandma? I mean, isn't there somebody else you can compare me to than grandma? It's like, come on. She's like, let me think again. I'm like, yeah, you better be thinking again. It's like, I mean, compare me to somebody else. I mean, like, even just a couple years older than me would be fine comparing, but you compare me, my age, to grandma. My grandma, or my mom, is like 82. Yeah. And she was like, oh, you're not older than grandma. It's a very great compliment that she wants to be like you, a great mothering. Yeah. So here we go with this paste. Now hopefully it hasn't hardened up in there, but you can tell when it comes out, I got a little dot of it on the tip of this. And hopefully I didn't get it too big, but yeah, it's like paste. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start, I may have gotten too much on my blade here. So we'll do maybe a couple little layers here. And we're going to start just making textured chicken feathers. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you got some little spots sticking up here and there, just leave them. That's fine. Okay. Let's just kind of do some layering here, some chicken feathers. Yeah, this stuff does dry pretty quick, so I would just try and get them in there as quick as you can. And basically they're just textures, as all you're creating is just like this kind of cool looking textures that simulates the look of chicken feathers. Almost makes me want to say chicken fingers. Chicken fingers. And I'm just kind of looking at the reference photo too, whenever I'm doing this, and just trying to get the chicken feathers. There we go. I just like saying that. Just trying to get the chicken feathers to go kind of in the same direction as the reference photo. This is a wild chicken. I mean, I don't know if he's actually technically a wild chicken, but he just looks pretty wild. These look a little bit more flattened. I may have to turn him. To be honest, I probably should have painted in his feet, but I can paint in his feet and head later. Like, I like to usually paint in his head or his eyes before putting in some of this. So we may end up going up to around his neck area, doing out there. Well, we can, yeah, and then painting his face, and then going over the last part would be his top of his head, that little pom-pom on his head. I've got some bigger feathers, just kind of like strumming through here. There we go. So we can make some bigger feathers. Might just need to add a little bit more on there. Go. You can always just kind of draw your lines through there if you needed to. I think in here it's kind of needs just a little bit more. Okay, and then it goes back to being like these littler feathers. Make those just a little bit bigger. Well, looks like little Lola decided to join us. She likes to come in here, get on top of the art tables, and look for either ponytail holders, if she can find one, or she likes to sit there and stare at the at Pebbles, my little hamster. She likes to watch him. But little Pebbles hasn't noticed her. He did notice Whiskey, and that scared her. She was screaming. She did not like Whiskey. Okay, let's go ahead and just keep on going with these feathers. They look like they kind of curve out in a way, so maybe I need to start curving them. Kind of going outward around. Ooh, that's a nice one. I wonder if it'll actually... And it goes all the way up to his neck, and it just kind of curves around. You like adding texture to your paintings too. It makes it come to life. It just seems like it just adds that three-dimensional kind of like aspect of it. Have you used the modeling paste? Is that what you use too to add the textures? Or do you use like something to add a little bit more, like making your paints thicker? I don't know what that is. I got another thing in there. My mom actually gave me these because she was looking for a texture to add to her paintings too, but the type that she wanted was a lot more smoother. It kind of looked like your paints that like somebody added something to their paints to make it more smooth and a glitter kind of look to it. And so she had bought these thinking that maybe she picked something that was similar to that painting that she got. And the painting that she got was actually from Hobby Lobby. But she loved the texture, and she tried it with all the paints that with all these, and she just didn't get the result that she was wanting that looked identical to that. I don't know if they just added like super glue to it and then added glitter to the super glue and put it, I mean, who knows? I mean, you can't really trust too much whenever it comes to like Hobby Lobby. I mean, they're just gonna make whatever. I mean, it wasn't like, I mean, you can probably replicate it somewhat, but not to that extent. It wasn't super glue. Maybe like hot glue. I didn't mean super glue. Yeah, this is starting to dry. Just adding those textures. All right. Got my crazy chicken in there. Crazy chicken. I think it was supposed to be a lucky chicken, but now I'm calling him crazy chicken. It's a crazy chicken. So we got some feathers going on there. This looks a little bit smooth here. I want to add a little bit more of a texture, like overlap in it, just a little bit. There. Same with this. Just a couple little textures. There. So now we got a chicken that is definitely fluffy. And then his head needs to do the same thing. You know, I could probably put a little bit of, I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna wait on the top of his head until we get that painted in. See here. And I'm gonna do that with Liquitex Basics. Because I am not using these paints anymore. So sorry I done what you're doing, but I'm definitely using modeling clay or whatever next. Okay, yeah, this is modeling paste. Modeling paste. Yeah, the other one, let me see. Okay, Hubby's not behind me. Hold on. Let's see here. It was like this set. It's probably dusty because the box is out. Right here. This here looks more sandy. And this is a coarse texture medium. It's like, sand. So it feels like sand in there. I can probably put it here and just kind of see. But yeah, it's like really gritty. Actually, you could probably see that. Yeah, like, I don't know if you could. It's like sandy. See that? It's like kind of like a salt scrub or one of those salt scrubs. I don't know what you call it. It feels like you can massage this in and get rid of anything out of your pores. It's like, that's what it feels like. But when it dries, you know, could it be something that you can paint over to make it look like sand? And you can actually have sand texture on your painting? I mean, it might actually work for that if you're doing like a beach scene, which is kind of cool. So maybe whenever we do like maybe have some like beach sand, we can try some of that texture stuff and paint over it and see what we get. Maybe that might actually work to make it look like 3D sand. All right, so let's go ahead and I know I turned him upside down. Now, I don't want to paint him upside down. I can, but I don't really want to. Let's get rid of these paints. Guess where these paints are going? I'm gifting them to my daughter. Like, here, honey, have some fun. Happy Valentine's Day. I don't even know what I did with the lid to this. Oh well. Okay, so Here's our crazy chicken. And if you take a good look at him, I don't know, he's got some pretty weird eyes. He's got kind of a white beak, kind of pinkish. So we need pink, probably just reds, whites, at least. And then some of the darker tones for his eyeballs. Whiskey, are you trying to get in, baby? Let me get white. I already had my white out because I was painting that cow behind me. Daniel Crimson, it don't matter. Let's do that. Ooh, let's take some of this. Light pink. And then we need some Payne's Gray. And we need some Mars Black. That'll work. Who's moving the door? Whiskey. He's not sitting in the art room. He's like sitting halfway in, halfway out. That thing looks evil and angry. Yeah, he looks angry, doesn't he? Aw, he's not a happy chicken. Well, he's crazy chicken. He's supposed to be a lucky chicken. I don't know. Maybe he's not lucky. I don't know. Maybe I need to draw a smile on his face. Would that help? Oh boy, oh boy. I picked the right chickens, don't I? I picked the ones that look like aliens. And be like, here we go. Alright, so let's do titanium white. Let's put enough white on there. And I went ahead and grabbed this one just because I like the color. This is a light pink. Liquitex Basics. Oh my god, I'm going to feel so happy painting with these. They're going to make me feel so much better. It's like a breath of fresh air. Wish I could go back to my final review and be like, hey, by the way, you guys, these paints are not that great. Do not recommend. But unless you're buying for your kid. But I don't know if you'd be buying those. I think they're still kind of pricey, to be honest. I think they're higher priced than Liquitex Basics. But who knows? Maybe somebody else might actually enjoy working with them. I don't. I didn't have very much fun. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Payne's Gray, which is my favorite for eyeballs. We are definitely going to have to layer. Hopefully I didn't add too much water to that. Okay, so these are going to be some tiny eyes. There's one. There's two. Whiskey, what are you doing, baby? What are you doing? You want to come inside? Why don't you lay on your blanket? Why don't you come in and lay on your blanket? I got a camera for you. You could be on camera. Oh, he's like, no, no, thank you, Mom. I do not want to do it. It's fine. Be a party pooper. And take some of that red, take some of this white, mix it together, get an extraordinarily beautiful color. It's a pink. And we're just going to go ahead and just kind of eyeball this real quick. Basically, it's majority of him is pink, and then you got the white feathers kind of going in there, except for his beak. Yes. Such an angry bird, though. Never really thought about it when I got him. I just thought he looked like a crazy chicken. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. I like to have a crazy chicken. And now that I keep on looking at him, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like devil bird or something. It's all right. He might be nice. Whiskey, what you doing underneath me, baby? Why don't you go lay down your blanket? What are you doing? Whiskey. Whiskey. Just hoping he doesn't get any of my paper underneath there. No, he's just gonna lay down right there underneath my seat. That is not a good spot. I'm gonna make this a little bit more redder. Looks like he's got like some sort of let's draw in his little mouth area. See if we can do that. Looks like a mustache. He's so fluffy. He really is fluffy. He's a fluffy little bird. We're going to take some of this white and then some of this pink. Whiskey, what are you doing, baby? Hmm? I don't know why, but he likes... Sometimes I'll miss the little hamster's cage and not really put, or not cage, but her little glass tank that I have her in. And some of her seeds will fall out because I'm not the greatest at putting them in there without not dropping some of them. And he likes to go over there and try and pick some of those seeds up. Oh, I should have let that dry. Need to let it dry just a little bit. Whiskey, come here. You need to sit down, baby. Nope, he's like, I'm out of here. I'm done, Mom. Kind of shiny. Okay, I really need to dry this just a little bit. Lighten that up just a tad. Still wet. Gonna narrow that down just a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry this real quick because I really want to keep working and it's still too wet for me. So let me go ahead and blow dry this and hopefully it doesn't hurt your ears. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I've been talking this whole entire time. Wow. Now I just now noticed. I am so sorry, you guys. Wow. Okay, so I was answering your question on if I was an art teacher by day as well, and no, not an art teacher by day. Um, I just don't know if I feel like actually going in and doing the art teaching, like when doing like a workshop and stuff like that. It has crossed my mind, but I just don't know if I feel like being front and center in front of a whole bunch of people. Like, no. But I am so sorry. I was probably a long time being muted. Still muted when I seen that. Aw. Oh my goodness. I'm here now. I am so sorry, you guys. Darn it. I don't know why I was painted this it's this chicken. It's supposed to be a lucky chicken, but obviously this chicken's not lucky. It's like bad luck chicken. Whiskey's locked in here. He did it to himself. I am so sorry, you guys. This is so embarrassing. I am so glad that you're here, though. Just think if you guys were not here and I just left it muted the whole entire rest of the time. We're just giving you a hard time. Oh, got you now. That's all that matters. Yes. But there was one time whenever I did have myself muted and I didn't know I was muted whenever I first started my art lesson. And it wasn't until like the next day when someone went back to rewatch it, and it was totally muted and couldn't even hear me. I was like, wow. I owed it to you guys on that one. Maybe I shouldn't mute whenever I do the thing. Maybe I just give you guys a warning and you can like plug your ears or turn down the volume. That way I make sure I don't do that again. Yeah. I'm so happy you guys are here though. Ooh, this water, okay. I'm about ready to get a different brush. Actually, I am gonna get a different brush. I know I got other ones. This one here is actually holding water. Now, it wouldn't be bad for a watercolor brush, but it's like holding water inside. Which is really weird. Let's see here. I know I got another tiny one. Well, they give me so many brushes with the powerful packs, which I am so happy about, that I actually got small detail brushes because of it. Whiskey, are you wanting out, baby? He shuts himself in here on purpose. He's a silly boy. Okay. Oh, look. Dollar and Ronnie brush. Go figure. It's coming back to haunt me. Okay, let's take some of this Payne's Gray. I'm going to just kind of go back over his mouth just a little bit. And we're at 9 minutes. We actually could have almost enough time to do some more of the texture stuff on his head. Trying to add a smile, maybe. That's not really a smile, it's a straight face. But straight face is better than what he did have. Let's see if we can add a little bit of a shadow. underneath of here. It's very tiny. He does have red in his eyes. Don't like adding red, but it does go with the theme, so he's got red eyes. Let's add a little bit of some color in here. Oh, that's nice. Whiskey, did you decide to bring in your crunchy toy? It's like, hey mom, guess what? I'm gonna bring in the loudest toy I've got. Just for you. Okay. I am almost done with this little chicken. Just such an awkward chicken now. He's even got a weird bump on his nose. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with this chicken's face anymore. This face is just weird. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting in some of these. We got about 5 minutes, and I definitely want to have this texture all laid in. And then the only thing we need to do on him is after he completely dries, we can start painting his feathers on his body. We can get his feet painted in. Okay, let me make sure I'm going correct way with this. It's like really kind of like a pom-pom on his head. Kind of has a little feather sticking out a little bit further than the others. So I'll kind of take that. And then they kind of split apart here. Goes back the other way. Feathers right in here kind of point down. Oop, 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 oop. I need to move that. Trying to save those brushes for my cow in the back. My kitchen painting that I was trying to make for my kitchen real quick has turned into, I've been working on it when I can, and I started working on it again. And I've almost got the cow done. He still needs his nose, maybe some highlights on him. There we go. Look at him. He's starting to get all fluffy. Hmm. All right. Now he does have some sort of fluffs like right next to his head. I don't know if I can try and get a little pieces of it in there. Trying to get close to that eye without trying to cover it up. There we go. There we go. Now, and once this completely dries, like the next live stream we do, if there's anything that I need to go back over, I will definitely go back over it. But if he needs any highlights or anything, but look at this texture. I mean, look at that. He is just fluffy. He's got some tail feathers in there. Look at that head. And if you guys want to see something, I will be right back. I'm going to go get it real quick, but I was going to go ahead and do like kind of like a little lesson on how I did this using it for like daisies. And I made them in a heart-shaped form, like to a heart. And I used the same modeling paste or molding paste. And I wanted to show you guys this because I will be making a YouTube video. It'll be kind of shorter, but I got to show it to you guys. I think you guys will really like it. So hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back in. And I just wanted to show you guys this. I tried to put it in a frame and I ended up thinking that it was an 8. I thought I had a 9x12 frame, and come to find out I didn't. I actually only had an 8x10 that I mislabeled. So I just kind of taped it in there. But this is what I did. And I actually did it on this board that was more of a metallic kind of board from Frederick's. It's kind of a cheap kind of canvas board. Made of cardboard, and then it's got like a metallic kind of look to it. You see that? And then I did the flowers for the daisies. So they definitely have that texture. You can see right there. Got all that texture. And I actually added some glitter in there too. Like some sparkle, like from our, I think it's like a, what is it called? Iridescent, like some of this iridescent medium that you can add to your colors, and you can literally make them sparkle too. So this is going to be what I'll end up doing for a YouTube video, and I'll try and get that out to you guys too on doing these daisies. So I really did like that. And the thing is that I thought I had a 9x12 frame. Nope. It's like a weird frame. So I kind of taped it in there and it made it like a shadow box. So I was like, hey, it'll work. Just tape it, then hang it up, and then I've got a shadow box for it. Yeah, it's just a cheap way of doing it for me. What type of paste is that? That is the same thing we use for the chicken. So that is the modeling paste. Good gosh. Well, there ain't no air in it. But it's Liquitex Basics modeling paste. Or, yeah. That's perfect for Valentine's. Yes. And I definitely set it on the counter or on my fireplace mantle. But then I also did a rose with oil pastels. That's going to be for Patreon though. But I did that without using any odorless mineral spirits. Sometimes I like to use odorless mineral spirits, but this time I just went ahead and just did it without. And all I can say is it just gets really messy if you want to work with your fingers to blend. But it really turned out super nice. So anyways, I guess on our next live stream, we're going to go ahead and finish up the chicken, do his little feet. If there's any feathers, I'm going to go ahead and paint the feathers. If there's anything with his beak, which I know there is, that might just drive me crazy, we might just go in there and fix that. Just little touch-ups if needed. But other than that, I think that's what we'll do next week, and then we'll get to maybe brainstorming on some next ideas of what we're going to do. Probably a color pencil piece, since I know that mixed media kind of, the polls kind of went higher for the M1 for the mixed media, but color pencil was in number 2, so we're probably going to do a color pencil piece for next live stream, or not this next live stream, but the following live stream. So anyways, thank you guys for joining. It's been so much fun, and you guys saved me. You saved my butt on that microphone. So I definitely owe it to you guys. You guys are awesome. Okay, no, I have not used this paste. I just used my paint, of which I used a lot of paint. Oh no, appreciate your time. Oh, no problem. And yeah, if you use that, that might save on your paint too, because paints get pretty pricey. I'm not for sure how much it costs though for that, but you can pick it up at like Hobby Lobby sells it. I know they do, probably Michael's. But yeah, just look for it. It's modeling paste, and it can definitely save you on your paints trying to get them so thick. So it's definitely been fun. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next live stream, and you guys have a great weekend. Bye, you guys.